I'm Jan Vermeulen, Editor-at-Large for My Broadband, and I want to talk today about the S Pen. This is the stylus that you get with the Galaxy Note range of phones, and I specifically want to talk about some of the new features you get with the S Pen that comes with the Note 9. Samsung has made quite a few improvements with the Galaxy Note 9, so it still acts as a stylus and you still store it in your phone so you don't lose it. When you pop it out, the first thing that you'll see is it launches a function called Screen Off Memo. That lets you draw right on the screen while the screen is actually powered off. So you can draw and write and then save it into your Notes app while the screen is locked. The rest of the features you get when you unlock the phone. A staple of the Note range has always been Air Command. This is a dial of shortcuts that appears on the screen when you've got the pen out. And by default, this lets you select regions of the screen, which you can then draw on or just share if you want to. You can create notes from the shortcut, and you can just write on the screen. You can also add more shortcuts. So for example, a function that's not in Air Command by default is Magnify. So you can just drag that right onto the bar, select Magnify, and whatever you point at on the screen becomes magnified. There's also a function called Glance, which lets you launch an app, and then you can tap on Glance from within Air Command. It'll minimize the app to the corner, and you can do whatever else you want on the screen, and then just point at the app again using the S Pen and relaunch it so you can get quick and easy access to certain apps if you want to task switch. Then what Samsung's done with the S Pen that comes with the Note 9 is it's introduced low power Bluetooth functionality. That means it can act as a remote control for various functions. So you can double tap it while you're in your music app to skip to the next song. You can push the button on the stylus to pause and play music. You can also use it to pause and play video. But what a lot of people are going to want is the ability to launch the camera and take photos remotely. So you can put your phone on a tripod, for example, step away from it and take selfies without your arm in the shot for a change. You can also disable the remote functionality altogether if you don't want it. By default, the S Pen remote functionality is also disabled in Chrome. You can re-enable that in the Settings app. You can also configure the shortcuts for the S Pen button. By default, for example, in the camera app, when you tap the button, it takes a photo. You can change that so that instead it records video. When you just hold the button and nothing is on screen, by default, it'll open the camera. However, you can change that so that it does anything else. You can launch any other app, or you can make it launch any of the shortcuts that you get with Air Command, Magnify, Glance, something like that. So that's the S Pen. It's still the same stylus that you know and love from the previous devices in the Note range, and also now a remote control.